Hey there. It's Alex Keller.
Not my coding.
And this is the one and only Filmtastic Voyage.
Welcome, everybody, to the original Filmtastic Voyage.
Yeah, don't let that one on 5th Street confuse you.
That's right. Yeah, we got some imposters out there. So go ahead and Google them. No.
I like to imagine someone does Google Filmtastic Voyage and something horrendous comes up that isn't us, and then we get up. It's the whole thing.
Wouldn't it be funny if someone somewhere out there just unknowingly they're like super fans or whatever of this show, and they decide to go ahead and copy the format somehow and like emulate us? So then out there's like a Filmtastic Voyage, and they're trying to be us, but it's like not us, and
That'd be pretty weird.
And we have to differentiate ourselves from them.
I think it'd be weirder if they did that and they didn't know about us.
Right.
If they made a, cheaply produced video podcast, happened to be called the Filmtastic Voyage, but it wasn't. Then we have to change our name to Filmtastic Voyage West.
Right, yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
And then with them, the only difference is that the me character sits on that side and the you character sits on this side. It'd be crazy.
Yeah. And it's like Michael and Alec.
Yeah. Mark and Alec. So, hey, if anybody's out there, and you want that just extra push to start your own Filmtastic
Mark
Voyage.
and Alan.
Mark and Alan. The Flicktastic Voyage, where they talk about flicks. All they talk about is Transformers and how much they love it.
No, it'd be like the Movie-tastic Quest.
Yeah. Where it's pro-Transformers and anti-Alfred Hitchcock.
We probably should have just called this Movie Quest, really. That'd also been a good name for a podcast.
That'd be fun. Movie Quest?
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, if we want to change the name, fuck it, right?
Every other episode, it's a new name. No one could find. We're like the band from Parks and Rec. Mouse Rabbit changes his name to every week.
Oh, is that?
Well, not really, but they keep trying to change their name. They never do, though.
I mean, every once, hey, I can talk from personal experience. Every once in a while, if you don't have any fans, it's good to change your band name. So,
does it work though? Rebranding?
Here's the thing: we've rebranded recently, and it seems to be kind of working.
I like your new name.
Thank you.
I like it better than the old one. No offense to anyone who likes the old name.
Hey, I'm in 100% agreement with you, Alex. And you know what the difference is I came up with the band name.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Did
you come up with a logo too?
I did.
Oh, see, usually I'm the logo guy.
You are, and you make excellent logos.
I've made 2 logos in my time.
Hey, guess who made the logo for this podcast?
Well, I also invented the name for the podcast. I invented the name for the last 2 podcasts we were on.
You did, yes. The last 2 podcasts. The only 2 podcasts.
Take 2 words and you smush them together awkwardly, and there you go.
Okay, for anybody who doesn't know, and this is no secret now, whatever, so we used to be Cinema Shack, and the interesting thing about that name is I pictured, the instant imagery I have for something like that is it's like, picture, if you will, this beat up old shack on the beach where we serve these weird alcoholic fruity drinks, but it's cinema themed. That's what I would picture.
You see, this show is now more Cinema Shack than Filmtastic Voyage. It used to be
true,
it's a weird thing where Cinema Shack didn't make any sense. It was just kind of fun, and that showed a theme where we were trying to make lists or something, and that fell apart pretty much. Not immediately, but it kind of ran its course. And then we're like, okay, we'll make this show Filmtastic Voyage where we have to choose random movies in IMDb, right? Except IMDb got rid of that thing a year and a half ago.
Yeah. They caught on to us. They were like, hey, these guys are using this thing. That's not cool. They got to pay us. And so then they got rid of it.
Yeah, so now we just kind of bullshit. So
Now
yeah,
we
maybe
just kind of bullshit around.
maybe we should go back to Cinema Shack.
So, well, someone mentioned the name. It should just, or no, maybe it was you that said this. Just two boring white guys talking about movies.
Yeah, that's also pretty descriptive. An apt description.
I think.
You see, if we were actually going to do a video podcast, we actually have a Cinema Shack set where it's got like the
Oh shit! Like
the
coconuts
the bar that you were talking about just there.
yeah, it'd be like tropical themed.
When I imagine Cinema Shack, though, I personally imagine something more along the lines of Disney's Out of the Box, where it's just like a fort where you sneak into and you talk about movies behind your parents' back or whatever.
Oh, behind your parents' back.
It's like I'm going to my treehouse, Mom, and I'm going to talk about movies with my friends.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing, Alex, and I want to explore this a little bit more. I've been wondering about like paying into studio space, but it would have to be with like whatever, a bunch of different people, so the cost isn't that much.
Didn't you do that once and didn't it kind of blow up?
Well, but that's the thing is like it was between me and I think 5 other people, and it was just a mess. It was just a big mess.
Like the space itself was a mess, or the
The idea was a mess. But what I'm talking is like you timeshare kind of basically like studio space with a bunch of different people. Mm-hmm. There has to be something out there like that, right? Where it's just like, hey guys, every week I need this studio space for 2 hours, so I'll pay this much a week or whatever, or this much a month or something, right?
I guess
There's got to be something like that out there, but I don't know. Hey, if anybody's in the LA area and knows of any places like that.
I mean, I'm sure there are, but they probably know where you want to go.
Right, yeah. Probably in downtown Los Angeles.
I was downtown yesterday. You were there, too. At a different time. Man, downtown LA I hate downtown LA.
I love downtown LA.
Well.
Because it's so frustrating. Like, it's so, like, scary and, like... I took my parents there recently, because we were showing them around LA, and we took them down to downtown LA last, and everything was going fine. Everything was going relatively fine, but then I think there was only one accostement from a scary person.
Cool, that's a good record.
But other than that, it was fine.
I still you drive down there and the roads are all weird, and then you take a right turn, and then it's like, this is a dead end. I'm like, God damn it.
Don't drive down there.
Well,
driving in downtown LA sucks.
Well, how are you supposed to get there? The train? Ha 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 ha.
Public transit is really good.
No, it's not.
I take the bus every day.
Yeah, but
every day.
From here? Oh, right. You live next to a bus stop, though, Mr. Fucking Lucky.
And then, you get the metro going in there.
They closed down the bus stop near my house, because they've been building a fucking, construction project there for 5 fucking years.
Oh, wow.
They closed it down to, make way for this construction project that isn't fucking done yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
Bring back the train.
On a side note, Alex, if you were to open a store, what kind of store would you open?
Oh, I don't know, a movie store.
Like Suncoast?
I don't know, not like a Blockbuster, but like a mom and pop's movie. There was a cool movie store back near my college that was just you could rent or buy just classic good movies,
Yeah.
Like the now defunct Filmstruck, but in store form.
Yeah, so Filmstruck is gone.
It's a real, kick in the ass, man. Even though I was always like, man, one day I'm just gonna, get a week
Same
off,
here.
and I'm gonna download Filmstruck or what do you call it? Subscribe to Filmstruck. I'm just watch some classic flicks, man. But never had time, and now it's gone, and I feel like it's my fault.
Well, you know what's weird about Filmstruck is I was in the same boat where I was like, yeah, dude, one of these days I really want to get this when I feel like I have a need for it. But their marketing was very it didn't quite. It was sort of all over the place. They'd be I remember it started off as being oh yeah, check out all these rare, obscure movies. And I'm like, well, I don't know what these are, so maybe I don't need it. And then later on, it was check out this movie from 1950 and then this other movie from 1995 or something.
They had Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on there at one point, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, well, okay, maybe. But then I don't know. For whatever reason, I just wasn't compelled enough to get into it.
Yeah, and also the thing is, like, if I have, like, every time I've, like, recently been in the need of, like, a classic serious movie, I have like 2 different libraries I can go to rent classic movies from.
Right.
And usually they have what I'm looking for. You know, man, I really gotta watch that Colors trilogy.
The what?
The Colors trilogy.
What's that?
Red, White, and Blue, the French movies.
Oh, that's right. You're talking
One
about that.
day, I always gotta get around to it.
Hey, Alex, you'll make it happen.
I was on a pretty good tear early in the year, getting some classic films like The Battle of Algiers and Vampire
yeah.
and all these shit. And then now I'm watching Diddley Dick.
Diddly dick.
I'm watching fucking Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. What happened to me?
I mean, listen, like September, I barely watched any movies. October, I was a little bit better about it, but still not much. Did I tell you that I watched Halloween,
No.
the original?
Yes. No. You haven't.
I haven't talked about that.
No.
So I watched the original Halloween recently. Have you seen that?
You're just copying me. I watched it like 2 weeks ago,
Well,
and I
'cause you-
told you about it.
Yeah, you told me about it, so then I went and watched it. That's
Yeah.
not copying. That's just taking what you did and doing it.
Yeah. Sure, whatever.
Which I guess that definition sounds like copying, but
Yeah. It's because it is.
so I saw the original Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you talked about it, and I think you said it wasn't scary, right?
No, it's not. But I thought it was great.
Right. It was fine.
I thought it was great.
It was. It's definitely like It's like a forerunner for those movies, right? It's definitely like pretty tame. But it's like the first.
Sounds
I think,
like
right?
you're experiencing Seinfeld isn't funny syndrome.
I mean, I could see how the movie was scary when it was made. I'm not saying this movie's a bad movie. I'm just saying you could tell that it was like one of the first.
Yeah,
of its
well,
kind.
the thing about that is like the problem is hard to be scared by a movie like Halloween when you know it spawns a franchise and like you've
Right.
kind of seen what happens in the movie just through like cultural zeitgeist. You
Yeah.
know, like I like knew everything that was gonna happen for the most part. Like I was like, oh, I know this person how this person dies. I know how that person dies. Just by like, watching like people will show clips on TV. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what I like the movie because I thought it was just such an incredible technical achievement. Just for on its budget, like it was made for like $250,000 or something.
right. Yeah.
It's like an indie film, but it has
bare
such creative
bones.
camera work and just cinematic problem solving and
Mm-hmm.
cool sequences, like the long oneer in the beginning. And that's the stuff that makes it a classic, and not so much the is it scary, which I don't like to judge a horror movie by is it scary is what you want, but like I think to me, is it a film first, scary second? You know.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's what I look
Yeah.
for. I look for is it because like even if I don't get scared, I can understand like that was an effective setup for a scare, like the part
Yeah.
where the guy's in the kitchen and then Michael Myers just pops out of the closet and stabs him.
Right.
It's like that didn't scare me, but
But it
that's
was
a
good.
That's good.
Good
Good
filmmaking.
stuff, John Carpenter. You did it.
You
In the
know-
same way where it's like I don't like this musical, but it's got a lot of good dancing.
Right. Well, and on a similar note, on Halloween,
You took a haunted hayride to
no,
Hollywood and Highland.
no, we watched a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a while. Again, on your recommendation, which I didn't think was too scary, but it was fucking a very brilliant movie, and that was The Witch.
Oh, The Witch.
I finally saw The Witch.
The Witch is great. I love The Witch. Yeah, also not scary, but it's like a weird atmospheric kind of horror drama.
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly a drama, I think, right?
It's like a supernatural drama.
Yeah, but yeah, what a great movie. Jeez.
Yeah, no, super good. Very atmospheric. Cool use of language. That director was gonna make Nosferatu, and then that fell through, which is really annoying because it's like, oh man, I want to see that guy's take on Nosferatu. I fucking love Nosferatu. It's my favorite vampire movie.
Yeah. He's a wily little devil, that Nosferatu. He's incorrigible.
Indeed. I mean, he's just Dracula, but gross.
Yeah, he's a gross Dracula.
I mean, like Nosferatu is just a
Oh yeah.
cheap knockoff, not cheap, it was a knockoff of Dracula because, funny story, Bram Stoker's widow thought she owned the rights and sued them, and turns out she didn't own the rights. The copyright had expired long ago due to some sort of clerical error.
Wow.
She never owned the rights, and so they could have just made a Dracula movie the whole time.
Oh, wow. Now, I mean, the original of that was made in like the 30s or something.
Well,
right?
like a Nosferatu?
Yeah.
That was like 1918 or something like that.
Okay, because it was like silent era.
1921. I forget
Whatever.
the exact
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, German Expressionism, man.
Yeah. No, it was really
Old
cool.
as fuck. I like the Herzog version better.
Still haven't seen that version.
It's like a Werner Herzog movie, but with vampires.
Right. Yeah.
Have you seen any Werner Herzog movies?
I don't know if I have, to be honest.
You haven't seen, well, documentaries notwithstanding, you haven't seen Bad Lieutenant or...
Which Bad Lieutenant?
The Nicolas Cage one?
No.
Fitzcarraldo or Aguirre?
Nope.
There's that one with Michael Shannon.
Which
My
one
son,
is that?
what have you done? Or, yeah,
Oh.
that one's really weird.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen any Werner Herzog movies.
What? Like he did some. I feel like he did something
I've heard the name a bunch, but
fairly approachable. Maybe it was Bad Lieutenant was the one that was fairly approachable. That one's really weird though. And then his documentaries are all pretty great, except when they're weird also. Cause like, Cave of Forgotten Dreams is really good. That one's very straightforward. So is the one Lo and Behold, which is about the internet, very straightforward. And then he does one which is about volcanoes, but then like halfway through it's like, oh, and now we're going to North Korea to see what they do. Also volcanoes, but that's not what this is really about. It's like, oh, okay. I thought this was going to be a volcano documentary. What's going on here?
I use volcanoes to ease you into the idea of North Korea.
Well, then he's also like, volcanoes are like symbolic of the human soul always erupting.
Is that what he says?
That's basically what his documentaries are like.
Interesting.
He's a
German?
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
He's supposedly going to play a droid or an alien or something in the new Star Wars TV show, in Mandalorian. That's the rumor.
Is he? I had a bad joke in there, but never mind. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen any of his movies.
I love
weird.
it when he shows up in just like Parks and Rec or Rick and Morty, random like one-off characters and shows.
Where was he in Rick and Morty?
He played a guy in the episode in Intergalactic Television 2 or whatever the fuck they call that stuff.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the guys in the hospital, and they were talking about these like, and on Earth they always put things on their dicks and like, look at me, I'm so and so penis or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
It's a fun little gag because it's Werner Herzog. It doesn't work if it's not Werner Herzog.
Right, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. If I was to see a Werner Herzog movie, what would I see?
I guess
Bad Lieutenant?
Nosferatu for
Nosferatu?
old is a
Okay.
good one. Bad Lieutenant's a good newer one. Yeah, I can start with those two.
Now, speaking of German directors, or should I say German directors, Uwe
Boll.
Uwe Boll.
He's gone. Don't forget about him.
He's gone
I don't know what he's doing, but like
because he hasn't made a movie in like years, huh?
he might. He's been making. He just makes like asylum shit for like sub-directed DVD audiences. Like don't.
Yeah, but I haven't even heard of anything like. You know, it's like every once in a while you get a reminder that this person still exists.
He was a flash in the pan kind of like look at this loser kind of thing, and then people got sick of that.
Okay. Because he would box his hecklers, you know that?
He threatened to.
Well, no, he would do it though.
Well, one person took him up on the challenge.
Right, and then he flew him out there, and he was like a 17-year-old kid or something.
No, it was an actual film critic, but like Uwe Boll's actually like a boxer, so it didn't.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a fair fight.
Right. I mean, I guess that's one way to like try to stave off your hecklers, but yeah. Whatever.
Well, he directed your favorite movie, right? Dungeon Siege or whatever.
Oh yeah, dungeon. Wait, In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. Yeah, I think he only directed the first one.
There's more than one.
I think the other one. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Oh right.
Yeah, but 2 and 3 just didn't hold up to the.
I'm sure they're
the majesty,
far better.
The majesty of.
I'm sure that was a Jason Statham vehicle, was it not?
The first one, yeah.
That's so weird.
Second one's a Dolph Lundgren vehicle.
What?
Second one is
Step Up.
A Dungeon Siege, or no, In the Name of the King, A Tale of Two Worlds, and what it is Dolph Lundgren is a San Franciscan he's a San Francisco resident who's down on his luck, and then suddenly this vortex brings him back.
He's a
into
kid in King Arthur's court.
Yeah, basically, he gets sucked. He gets sucked back to medieval times, and then he saves the day, and then he comes back to modern day San Francisco.
You know, the original kid in King Arthur's court has a young Daniel Craig and a young Kate Winslet in it.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, before they were famous.
How young?
Like before they were
Like kids?
Like 1995.
Oh, so like young adults.
Yeah, like pre-Titanic Kate Winslet,
Right.
and pre-anything Daniel Craig.
Right. Yeah.
Danny C.
Danny C.
Did you see Logan Lucky?
I did.
I liked Logan Lucky. That was fun.
I know you do. I know you like it.
It was fun.
It's
no Ocean's 11.
Hey, I'll be completely honest with you, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by this, but at the same time, it wasn't
You fell
just
asleep.
My girlfriend and I, we went and saw it.
The Royal We.
The Royal We, yes, the Royal We went to see the movie, and we both fell asleep during the movie. I know, but here's the thing:
You falling asleep doing the Coen Brothers, you falling asleep doing Soderbergh. No respect.
Well, nowadays I know what it is. I just need to have coffee if I'm seeing a movie at 10 o'clock at night.
Just don't go see movies at 10 o'clock at night. I remember, like I said, I turned down your offer to see Bad Times at El Royale because I knew I couldn't do it.
But that's the thing. I was awake for that because I had coffee.
I don't want to drink coffee. Also, like, I don't drink coffee normally, so...
You don't drink coffee normally?
I drink decaf coffee sometimes in the mornings, but like regular coffee, even like a half sometimes... half caffeine, half decaf coffee sends me over the edge. I get the shakes. I dry up.
Don't you want to be one of those like hard-boiled 50s noir detectives that just is drinking
And it doesn't wake me up.
chain drinking coffee?
It doesn't
solving
make
crimes.
See, I don't get like awake. I'm still tired, but I just feel like shit.
Listen, I just want that Humphrey Bogart imagery of just this fucking 50s noir detective chain drinking coffee looking like he's, 5 paces away from death.
See, no, like when I'm 50, when I'm a 50s era 50s detective in my 50s, I'm just gonna be like, loose lip and cigarettes. While I'm
Loose
talking,
lip
and I
and
just got like a
cigarettes?
cigarette like flipping on my lip, just like, you know what I'm saying?
So you'd rather suck on cigarettes than suck on caffeine.
If I'm gonna slowly kill myself in a rage of like weird whatever, I guess I'd rather take up loose lip smoking than drinking 2 cups of coffee a day
Well, okay.
or an hour or whatever.
In reality, coffee's not going to kill you, right?
No, it's not. I'm just saying.
Cigarettes will fucking kill you.
I'm just saying, if I'm gonna be in a noir, I want that smoky atmosphere.
Hey, kids. Cigarettes will kill you.
No, don't smoke. I'm just absolutely. I'm saying I'd rather be a smoky Humphrey Bogart type than the guy from Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's a fun example. Well, now, are you talking about the part where he drinks the coffee, spits it out, and says, "Oh, this coffee's amazing"?
Yeah, well, Kyle MacLachlan loves a good cup of coffee in that show or whatever.
I feel like Kyle MacLachlan would be just the best person to hang out with.
I mean, he was
I
fun.
feel like he's just a pile of joy.
He was fun in that House Clocks movie. He was a pile of fun in that movie.
He was. I could take a spoon, just grab a glob of him, eat it, and it would just be pure sugar.
He's tons of fun in Blue Velvet. That movie's a laugh riot.
It's a laugh factory, that movie.
Yeah.
Just comedy gold.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Hopper in that movie is just... Oh, yeah.
He's a real character.
Okay, I was going to ask you... Okay, so I got 2 major things to talk about this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm totally sidelining... I'm totally going left field.
Yeah,
here.
whatever. It's like we just talk about David Lynch or whatever. It's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, David Lynch is crazy, so I'll ask some crazy questions
All right.
in the spirit of David Lynch.
Oh, good.
So there was an honest trailer for Batman the animated series on Blu-ray.
I watched it because I don't ever watch those except when I do, and this was one that I did. So.
Yeah, and so you can get the whole series on Blu-ray. Although that doesn't include the New Adventures of Batman, which I feel should be included in there.
Fuck the New Adventures of
It's not great. It's not a great series.
It's so different,
but it's still the same canon, though. It's
so
still the same voice
different.
actors.
The only
and
good thing about that one is the one where Batman gets hallucinated to thinking that he kills Batgirl, and Bane tries to kill him again.
I agree. Yeah, that is the only good
episode.
One. But they should have it in there. Anyways, so aside from that, so there's a part in that where they're like, oh, it features all these people laughing, and it shows the Joker laughing, then it shows Ra's al Ghul laughing. And I thought to myself, what if Joker went tit for tat with Ra's al Ghul? Who would win? Because I feel like two
in a
of those
fist fight or in a battle of the minds.
See, I don't know, but I feel like those two characters are like unstoppable forces, right?
I mean, they're kind of both the headline villains in Batman Arkham City,
right?
Because in Arkham City, Ra's al Ghul's trying to do his whole cleanse Gotham thing, and then the Joker has his own kind of side quest going on, and they don't really meet though.
But that's the thing is, like, if those two were to clash for whatever reason, I don't know who would win that. I don't know who would win in that conflict.
I mean, wasn't there was a comic arc where it was the Joker versus the Riddler. There shouldn't Joker versus Ra's al Ghul. Because the Riddler should never I love the Riddler. He's my favorite Batman villain. He should never, lead anything.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, the only thing he could lead is, Hush, where he does it from the shadows.
Right. Yeah. But that's the thing. Ra's al Ghul and Joker are, the arch enemies, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. There's a theory somewhere in there. There needs to be I feel like someone out there has had a theory about that, of who would win in I don't know if a fight, but yeah, a battle of the minds or something.
I'd love to see a Batman movie which is essentially just a remake of Die Hard with a Vengeance, where it's just the Joker just the Riddler just calls police stations seven people or seven brides have seven cats, and seven cats have seven rats, and how many things was this? I'm gonna blow up a bomb if you don't answer this question in 2 minutes.
Does the Joker have Batman wear that sign?
Oh, the Riddler.
Oh, the Riddler. I'm sorry. Does the Riddler have Batman wear that sign?
Yes, he does. And he goes to Gotham, Harlem.
Right.
But it'd probably be it'd be where the Joker's goons hang out. It's I hate clowns or something, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's hey, this guy hates clowns or whatever.
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable, just citizen, just everyday clowns. It's just a district of clowns that are kind of reasonable clowns, right? But then they see this sign and they get pissed off.
You could do it where it's we want Bruce Wayne to go randomly, but coincidentally chooses Bruce Wayne to do something wacky crazy.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know. I think you could make a pretty cool movie that way.
Yeah. It's too bad that Riddler hasn't really had a nice, strong Batman
honestly
movie.
Riddler should be. I'd love to see if you're going to do a take on the Riddler, I'd love to see Riddler like that, or the guy from Phone Booth, just like a pulling the strings from afar Jigsaw type, as opposed to sashaying around in his green suit and being tee hee hee, riddle me this, a little more subdued.
I mean, you could just have someone that likes wearing
he'd wear green. He'd have the bowler hat and the green and everything.
Yeah, just regular clothes that are green.
Well, he kind of does that in the Arkham City games. They do have question marks all over them, I guess, though.
Well, I know before Dark Knight Rises came out, I was sort of crossing my fingers that it was going to be Riddler.
You know what they announced actually the other day? Did you see this? Did you hear about this? The villain for the Birds of Prey. Did you see it?
Yeah?
It's Ewan McGregor as the Black Mask. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Whatever.
What? Ewan McGregor, Black Mask? It's cool. Black Mask is cool, man. The Black Mask. He's cool. He's cool.
Sure. I love the Black Mask, and I love Ewan McGregor. I'm personally, I'm always in the same spot when it comes to DC movies. Is like it's always like you hear announcements about something that's coming like way down the pike, but then you're just like concerned about like, well, I hope these movies are good, and then I'll see if I like those movies.
Yeah,
right?
did we talk about how they soft canceled the Deathstroke movie?
I think so.
But also the director of Birds of Prey was like, yeah, hard R, don't worry about it. I'm like, why?
That's the guy that directed
Girl.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what she's done.
Oh, okay. Didn't you tell me it was going to be the Fury Suicide Squad
David
guy?
Ayer? No, he's doing like a Joker Harley Quinn movie or something.
Oh, what?
And there's the other Joker movie coming out. We'll see. Like, I don't know. Like, I just hope that they don't go just make movies and don't worry about the whole cinematic universe thing. It don't matter none. But except they're like kind of going with their like they're going straight to the C list almost. You know?
Well, yeah. I'm not really big into that. Honestly, man.
Where's Green Lantern?
You know what I want more than anything, and this is just pure nostalgia.
Oh, the Flash movie was delayed again.
Of course. This is just pure nostalgia. I could just use some Batman movies.
Well, they're working on it.
Honestly, are they though?
Matt Reeves is working on it.
Is he?
Well, he had to like start from scratch because they threw everything that Ben Affleck had developed into the garbage.
And then Ben Affleck's not Batman now, right?
That's the rumor. They haven't announced anything one way or another.
Okay, I mean, I've been hearing about this Matt Reeves Batman business since 2015 or 16.
I think since right before Planet of the Apes 3 came out.
Oh yeah, okay.
So.
Well, no, it was before. It was a little ways before that, wasn't it?
I mean, like it wasn't like right before, but it was before. It was like after he had finished filming that and before it came out. So there was
right because it went from Ben Affleck basically writing, directing, and starring in a Batman movie to Ben Affleck starring in a Batman
writing
movie.
and starring in a Batman movie to Ben Affleck starring in a Batman movie to Batman movie.
Yeah, but honestly, dude, that's what I want. I just want a Batman movie. Like like all this business with all these other characters. I don't know if I care. You know, like I mean, Aquaman, I'll see it, and Shazam, I'll see it. But like, do I care?
The thing that
I don't know.
My thing with Batman was, and now I think about it, still should be. There should be two Batmans. There should be the Justice League Batman, played by one actor, and then Batman in his own universe, played by a separate actor. Because it's really weird to have two different Batmans fucking around in the same universe where one's like in this sort of gritty, grounded, realistic universe, sort of with some fantasy elements, and one's hanging out with Superman, who could like, you know, fix all Gotham City's problems in a day if he really wanted to.
Because DC is a very campy universe. It's a very bright, campy universe. And you got to have your Blue Cape Batman for those movies.
You don't have to, but you have to have like a Batman that's like a different type of Batman.
Well, what I'm saying is Blue Cape Batman for Justice League, Black Cape Batman for Batman movies.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
different costumes.
And well, and not necessarily. It's like I don't know if I'm being that specific, but it's almost like there is a difference in philosophy when it comes to Blue Cape Batman and Black Cape Batman. Like, there's Batman. What was it? Bold and the Beautiful, Brave and the
Bold.
Brave and the Bold. He was Blue Cape.
Yeah.
He was like your Adam West Batman.
Silver Age.
Yeah, Silver Age Batman. And then there's Black Cape Batman, which is like, you know, more of your Kevin Conroy, even though that was sort of blue, but whatever.
Well, either I want the Batman. I want Black Cape Batman. He's got his like regular Batcave with all this cool shit, and then they go to Justice League Batman. He's got the big coin, the dinosaur.
Yeah, and they hang out on a satellite.
And you can have Robin in that one. You know, Batman works alone in one universe and he's got Robin in the other one.
I mean, I think maybe there's room for a Bat family in the gritty Batman.
I guess so.
They got to really revise it, dude. Honestly, they should have revised Robin a while ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Soft reboot. It's like hard reboot Batman. Make a separate, self-contained Batman universe. So you don't have to worry about any of this continuity. And then like have Ben Affleck be Blue Cape Batman.
Just get Ben Affleck out of there. Just get him out of there. It's already done. People don't want him.
Damage done.
Yeah.
Poor Ben Affleck. I feel bad for him.
Get Armie Hammer in there.
Well, he should be gritty dark Batman.
He should. I agree. Yeah.
Anyways,
so Alex, who would? Well, I guess we left off with we don't know, right? Ra's al Ghul against Joker. I have no idea.
That's one of those things. Like, who would win, Superman or Goku? It's like I don't care. So whatever the writer wants, have the writer do it. I'm not writing it.
All right.
I ain't writing this fanfic.
And then the other thing I wanted to make sure I talked about this time around was I saw that boho, the Rhapsody boho.
Yeah, I remember you texted me. I saw boho rap, and I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
First of all,
and I was like, is that some anime movie or something?
The term boho to describe bohemian, or the term boho to replace bohemian, something that really annoys me. But
that happens? People do that?
Yes, people say boho.
That's probably a bunch of New Yorkers.
Yes, probably.
People like Rent.
Boho is like this way of talking about bohemian as like a fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so boho, right? Which is really kind of tragic.
But is it like a bunch of scarves?
Yeah, it's like you buy some scarves from Marshalls.
You wear 2 scarves at once. There you go.
Yeah, you're boho now. But I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and this is a biopic about Freddie Mercury.
I thought it was about Queen.
Well, I mean, it's mainly about Freddie Mercury. And here's the thing. I saw the movie, and then I read up on it, and then I was like,
Would you call it the musical version of The Imitation Game, where it's like barely accurate at all?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, you probably don't want me to get into it, right?
I have no plans on seeing it because I heard the reviews looked bad, and that kind of tanked any kind of interest I had. And, well, the whole production was a series of tanking my interest, and then the mediocre reviews and the fact that everyone was like, it's just kind of your standard movie was like, yeah, I'm gonna skip this one then.
So, just to give
obviously it's not much to spoil. Freddie Mercury is dead,
right?
And Queen is great,
right?
There you go.
So, I mean, just to give some history about the movie production is they've been trying to make this movie for 10 years.
Sacha Baron Cohen was.
Right. And yeah, well, Sacha Baron Cohen was signed on around 2010 to star as Freddie Mercury in the movie. And I guess it's always been a Bryan Singer movie, or no?
I thought he was a sort of a freelancer. That's why I just assumed. I didn't know if it was always him.
Okay. Yeah.
It might have always been him. It might have always been his production company. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So first of all, Bryan Singer, I do generally like his directing. I mean, we can get into the kind of person he is and all that, and I don't really...
like, around town is basically that it's an open secret that he's not such a great guy.
Right, yeah. So
like, there's no hard evidence, but like when everyone says something, it's hard not to think it might be true.
Yeah. Right, but
we
we don't know.
We here at the Filmtastic Voyage ain't slinging mud.
Yeah. But as a director, I mean, he has some hits.
I like...
Right?
The problem with like
Usual Suspects.
I mean, I like the Usual Suspects.
Some of the X-Men movies.
Some of the X-Men movies. But then again, I don't really like any of the X-Men movies, really. Like, they're fun, but like I wouldn't buy them.
Right.
So I guess Usual Suspects is the only movie of his I really like. I haven't seen Valkyrie.
That was good. It was good. It was fine.
Superman Returns is kind of farts.
Kind of farts, yeah. So this is what I'm going to say about this movie. Okay, so I saw it without knowing what any of the controversy was, and I walked away from it being like, that was good enough, right? It was good enough. It wasn't... It's not one of these riveting, like, really like stabs you in the heart kind of
like
biopics,
it was no
right?
Ray.
It was no Ray. It was no Walk the Line.
But it should have been Ray or Walk the Line. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
it's
here...
just fluff.
But then this is what I think is a bigger problem, is Freddie Mercury doesn't seem to have much of a... Like, he was diagnosed with HIV, he contracted AIDS, and then he died. Other than that, I don't know if Freddie Mercury had much of a dramatic life, right? So you make this movie, and then they dramatize it, but then the problem is they change enough of it around where, for the sake of dramatization, where it actually is kind of disrespectful to his legacy. So the whole... Okay, for anybody who hasn't seen this and plans on seeing it, maybe you just turn the podcast off now. But Bohemian Rhapsody, basically, this is how it goes. So...
Is this the real life? Is it just fantasy?
It's just fantasy.
Caught in a landslide to escape from reality.
That's what I felt like after this movie. I was caught in a landslide, and this movie escaped from reality. Basically, what happens is, okay, so Freddie Mercury, he sees this band, and then their singer quits, and then he jumps in and says he's going to be their singer, and then they become Queen, and
That's a
they're
true
famous,
story,
and
right?
blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. They
you said you did
obviously...
the research, though.
Well, I researched the big arc of the movie.
No, okay.
So what happens is the movie makes this whole big stink about how Freddie Mercury decides to go solo, right? And then he has like this boyfriend, and it's sort of implied that, you know, he has this boyfriend and maybe he's with you know, other guys having sex and stuff, and then he contracts HIV while he's doing like his solo career, while Queen's off doing their thing. And then someone approaches them to do Live Aid, which is famously Queen's, like, you know, one of their most acclaimed concerts that they ever did, and this was in '85, right? So in the movie, Freddie Mercury approaches the band because he's like, I don't know how much time I have left, so we should play this concert, Live Aid, because it's charitable and, you know, it helps out impoverished families and all this stuff. And then they play the concert, and then the movie ends basically with, you know, basically a message comes on the screen and says, Freddie Mercury died of AIDS in '92. So the immediate problem is...
Well, I was hoping for a second, I was like, I hope it ends with a freeze frame. It's Freddie Mercury's like, yeah, and it's a kind of magic. It starts playing over a freeze framed image. That would be pretty fucking great.
Right, yeah. That's how it should have ended, right? So I'll say some good things about the movie first, all right, before I go into the problems. Some of the cool things about this movie is that it shows you the origin of some of the songs they made, which I'm hoping are accurate depictions of the songs they made. So it got into Bohemian Rhapsody and how they made that, and then they got into Another One Bites the Dust. That might be... Oh, yeah, We Are the Champions, right?
We Will Rock You was in the trailer.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, We Will Rock You. Yeah, it goes into that. And it's like, okay, so these are cool little moments, but I researched this afterwards, and it's like Freddie Mercury never quit Queen to go solo. And like he had a solo record somewhere in there, but it wasn't like they like parted ways in this big dramatic way because Freddie Mercury quit the band. Like, it was literally like, okay, they made an album in '82, and then Freddie Mercury made an album, and then Queen made another album in '84, and they just kept going as a band, you know, up until I think like '91, right?
Until he died, yeah.
And then also Freddie Mercury contracted HIV in '87. So this whole, most of the movie...
It's a bunch of bullshit.
...is literally just bullshit.
They wanted to have like a dramatic like climax. They should have done him recording The Show Must Go On.
Yeah.
Because he was dying then. Like, he was like... he was like weak, and they're like, I don't even know if you can record this, man. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it in one take, and he did.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, you could have easily done it that way.
That's
right?
a really powerful song too.
But it's weird because it gets into this whole gray area then, where it's like, and I see people's criticism, and I sort of agree with this, is like, okay, so the movie starts off where he gets married to this woman, and then they're married and they're close and stuff, and then he tells her, hey, he's bisexual. And then they become estranged, and subsequently they get divorced and stuff, right? And then he has this boyfriend, and he has, these other dudes that he's hanging around, and he stops hanging around Queen in the movie. And then that's supposedly when all his problems start, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I'm doing these solo records now, but it's just not working out, and it sounds like trash. And, and now I'm sick with HIV. And it's like he comes back to the band and he's like, man, it's just not isn't the same without you guys, and we should go back and do Live Aid now, and blah 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 blah. And then it just it
Sounds
gets
like the movie was co-written by Queen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And well, it was the drummer and it was Brian May, the guitarist, that were executive producers on the movie. Mm-hmm. And they
vetoed the original actual movie to make
Right.
their fucking fun fan film or whatever.
right. And it's this just weird gray area where it's like, oh, they depict Freddie Mercury as this diva and hard to work with and drug addled and always late and stuff, and
Which I'm sure he was, but like.
Which I'm sure he was, but then they also made them look like they were the responsible ones. They were the straight-laced ones. They were the ones keeping the band together. They are the ones forgiving him for leaving the band and then coming back and him apologizing to them and all this stuff. And it's like, like if some of this is not true, is any of it true, right? Like,
yeah,
you just get to a point where you're like, how much of this is true? How much of this is not? How much of this is just bullshit, right? So. I don't know. The movie suffers because of all that.
Yeah.
And I will say it was worth seeing, especially when it gets to the Live Aid stuff where it literally is just 20 minutes of watching a Queen concert. Like that was all great. That was all awesome.
Watch
shit.
the concert then.
Well, yeah, you could watch the concert, but like what's the actress? Is it
Rami Malek?
Rami Malek? Yeah. I don't know if that's him actually singing, but
Probably not.
probably not. But he did a great acting job. He was great. Like I believed him as Freddie Mercury. But yeah, I mean, ultimately the movie is just not. It's not a biopic of Freddie Mercury. It's like this weird, very contrived fiction.
Sounds like this puff piece.
It's a puff piece. It's a fiction. It's a very, very fictionalized version of this person's life, which is unfortunate. They didn't have a Bowie cameo. I was waiting for that Bowie cameo.
That little Dane DeHaan is David Bowie.
Yeah, get Dane DeHaan in there.
Oh man, Freddie Mercury, I'm just so under pressure right now.
I mean, but seriously, like if you're gonna have a Freddie Mercury,
Freddie Mercury just goes.
But like, I mean, that's what makes Queen interesting. Is like, there was no Flash Gordon references. There was no.
They didn't hang out with Christopher Lambert.
They didn't. Yeah, there was no Highlander references.
Oh, Freddie, I love your music.
And they could have done that stuff, and it would have been fun. It would have been a fun movie. That's what makes a movie fun. But
I mean, if you're gonna make a fun puff piece, yeah, just do like Queen's Greatest Hits in movie form.
But it's. I mean, there's a way to make a movie that's 2 hours and 15 minutes long that feels like a vast, sprawling movie, and this movie was not that. It was just him farting around with his wife for a bit, and then them arguing over Another One Bites the Dust, which we don't need to see. You could have trimmed a good 10 to 15 minutes off the Live Aid concert. You could have followed him up until his death, which the movie didn't do. The movie ended with them playing that concert, and that was it. And it's like, dude, come on, like, shit.
You had 5 more years.
Well, no, he had like 7 more years of career.
Well, I'm saying there was more albums they made.
Right. And then, what's interesting? I researched. They came out with an album in '95, and what it was is they took recordings that Freddie Mercury had done. And they added instrumentation to it to make them songs.
That's not unusual. I mean, lots of people have sort of done like posthumous records, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, didn't he have a posthumous record?
Probably.
I think Prince has like a vault of music he's ever released.
Sure, yeah.
Tupac, I recall. Lots of folks.
Yeah.
Record stuff and just being like, eh. Now, is it wrong morally to release a deceased artist's music because they probably didn't release it on purpose, right?
I honestly say it's up to whoever they trust with that music.
I guess, yeah. I think they should really make it explicit as to what happens to their music. And if nothing happens, I guess it's fair game.
Right. And, I mean, this is kind of a mean stance to take on this, but...
we here at the Filmtastic Voyage are nothing but mean. Nothing if not mean. There we go.
If someone has passed away... and their music is sitting there. Who loses by releasing that music?
It depends if the music is like, unsavory. If it's like, oh man, this guy, was a saint, great guy, super swell dude, and then he has all these vault musics about like, killing kittens, and like, stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I suppose, right? Yeah, if someone's leading a secret life or something.
Werner Herzog used to just like be like, no one can ever listen to this. Destroy this tape.
I mean, if it's like Freddie Mercury just farting into it, like literally farting into a microphone, then yeah, maybe don't release that. Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what's one good thing that the movie did? Is I'm actually more curious, and I hate saying this because I sound like such a fucking whore by saying this, but it actually makes me want to go out and maybe buy some Queen albums.
Oh, you haven't bought any already?
No,
Man,
surprisingly
fucking
not.
Night of the Opera and Day at the Races are two of the best albums ever.
Yeah, and I don't know. I have more motivation now to check that out. So
I could listen to Night of the Opera like every day if I wanted to. It's only like 45 minutes though. It's not terribly long. Great album though. Love it. Good Friday afternoon listening, pumping you up for the weekend.
yeah,
Because that's what Bohemian Rhapsody is from, if you don't know.
yeah. Night at the Opera. They go into that in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mike Myers has a cameo in there, which is fun.
Like actual Mike Myers or someone playing Mike Myers?
No, Mike Myers himself. He plays a character in the movie.
Oh, he plays a character.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's fun.
yeah. Which is, he's just like not in anything anymore. Mike Myers.
He keeps threatening us with Austin Powers 4.
It's not gonna happen. I've been hearing about that since 2002.
Yeah, I don't. There's the problem is like those three movies exhausted the sort of Bond jokes, and were also super of that time period. So you could do like one nowadays that would be super 2018 with like the Trump jokes and dabbing and everything's lit or whatever the fuck kids do, or it's the same kind of shit.
Trump jokes and dabbing.
It's what that would be. It's what it would be. And then, like, you probably have to make fun of Daniel Craig's Bond, but the problem is you can't make fun of Daniel Craig's Bond because it doesn't fit the tone of the Austin Powers. It doesn't have that camp.
Well, I mean, you can't do Austin Powers. I could easily see a parody of Daniel Craig's Bond.
You could, but not Austin Powers.
Just a secret agent that's like so over the top, hard boiled about everything. You know what I mean?
The only thing Austin Powers could do to make another one is to riff on the "I'm old and sad" trope that a lot of reboot sequels have been doing, where they take old action stars and like find them late in life being old and sad.
Say that again. Wait,
it's a thing. Like it's a common trope to take action stars or like heroes, and then haven't made a movie in 20 years, and then they come back, but they're all old and sad.
Right.
Wolverine, Luke Skywalker, Terminators, etc.
Right. Yeah. Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry was always old and sad.
Well, yes. Well, that wasn't really a thing until the last two movies, if I remember correctly. Like the first three Dirty Harry movies that were sort of made one after another, like because those were all made early 70s, like, and they weren't like these weird ass sequels made 10 years later or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was like a young enough Dirty Harry, but then they made Sudden Impact. And like I remember the elevator scene where like some other sergeant like grabs Dirty Harry and he's like, "Hey, you're a fucking dinosaur. Go back to the retirement home, dinosaur."
I don't remember that scene. The only scene I remember from that movie, amongst others, is the scene where it's like, where Dirty Harry's like, "You can't eat ketchup on a hot dog, you filthy piece of shit." And I'm like, "Fuck you, ketchup on hot dogs is perfectly acceptable. I don't give a shit. I'm from Chicago. Put too much shit in hot dogs, it ruins hot dogs."
Whatever happened to just ketchup and mustard on a hot dog?
Exactly, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's in classic. I don't want people. Hot dogs are overflowing with garbage, and I can't eat them. I take one bite, and all fucking flies out the other end. I'm tired of people telling me how to eat my hot dogs.
You're so irate about
Because
it.
I'm from Chicago, and Chicago is like, hey, if you put ketchup on a hot dog, fuck you. Why don't you go kill yourself?
Here's the thing: if I had to pick between
That's also not a Chicago accent.
if I had to pick between one condiment on a hot dog, if I could just have one, it would be mustard. Because aesthetically, it makes more sense to me.
I just like a nice, like a glaze, nice sprinkling of mustard and ketchup, maybe a couple like really small diced onions tops. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want no relish or tomato wedges, or little peppers or whatever the fuck.
You know what I miss, dude, is there's a place in the Bay Area called Casper's. Mm-hmm. And it was actually, half of them are spelled with a C and half of them are spelled with a K because there's these two brothers that got in a fight and then made separate companies.
Oh, like Zanko chicken.
Yeah, but the hot dogs are exactly the same. But man, big hot dogs, ketchup, mustard, they put a shit ton of shredded cheese on there. Just amazing.
That does sound pretty good.
Just amazing, Alex. One of these days, we'll have to. I'll drive. I'll put it back over your head and drive you up to the Bay Area, and we'll have some Casper's hot dogs.
I was like, it's that scene like the you pull the back of my head. I'm like, and it's if it's a movie, it starts off kind of blurry, like blown out, and then it simmers, and I just like look up, and it's just a big sign, just Casper's. Happy birthday, Alex.
Yeah, happy birthday. This is gonna be your best birthday ever. Here's a hot dog.
I mean, that hot dog place in North Hollywood's not bad.
Which one is that?
The one across the street from Lamley.
Oh yeah, Vicious Dog.
Yeah, that place was good.
Yeah. Hey, Vicious Dog. Here's a free plug.
Shout out. Pink's is good. Everyone likes Pink's. Also,
Pink's is fine.
It's an institution.
I think it's more like a touristy kind of thing.
Yeah, but they do make pretty good dogs.
They do.
There was a place in Michigan I used to go to called Kirby's Coney Island, and it made some good. It had those hot dogs with the nice crispy skin. You ever had those?
Yeah.
I mean,
when you overcook them, right?
Well, no, like you just get like good high quality
Overfry 'em?
Franks, and they just have like nice crispy skin. You can get them at like Ralph's and stuff, but you have to pay extra.
Huh. Okay, maybe I don't know what that is.
It's just good high quality hot dogs. You like you get your gross
I love getting gross.
gross shit hot dogs with like they like just you bite into them and it's like you bite into like wad of tofu, just like smushy bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Or you get some high quality Franks at like the store or from a restaurant, and you bite in. It's like biting into an apple. It's just crispy skin.
Well, and that's how you know they're high quality is when you call them Franks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not hot dogs, but Franks.
Yeah.
Check out these Franks.
Indeed.
I fucking love hot dogs. Here's the thing. For a while there, between hamburgers and hot dogs, you know what my choice was?
Tacos.
Tacos? No. Tacos are great. I mean, hey, it's always a great time for a taco. But, yeah, I don't know.
I was always a hamburger person. But if you take me like a 4th of July barbecue, and I'm a debaucherous piece of shit during 4th of July, of course, it's like, well, I'll have like 2 hamburgers, but I'll sneak in a hot dog. I gotta sample these dogs. I can't just have no hot dogs.
The thing about hamburgers is I feel like it's easier to fuck up a hamburger.
Is it? I mean, like, I guess.
Yeah.
I've had some shit hot dogs, though. Like, if you're bad at hot dogs, they split open and they suck. Or, like, the smushy tofu kind, like I said earlier. I mean, if you're grilling them, it's hard to fuck up. Mostly, people boil their hot dogs, and they're wrong. Don't boil hot dogs under any circumstances. You pan fry them. You bake them even. There's no difference between pan frying and baking them. Or you grill them. Don't boil them, Mom.
Yeah.
The water extracts all the goodness, and you just got hot dog flavored water. You can't drink that.
It's like soggy hot dogs.
And you got soggy bullshit hot dogs that taste like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, there's like chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored whatever. That Limp Bizkit album. Chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water.
Just pan fry hot dogs. You just put some oil on a pan, you put hot dogs in, and then you roll them around, and it's great.
And what you gotta have that crunch. You gotta have that nice crunch.
Crunchy crunch.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever had on a hot dog?
Nothing much, because like I said, like if it's like I want some weird hot dog, I'll be like no. So I've kind of just avoided that.
I've had at Vicious Dogs. I've had chicken parmesan on a hot dog. Like It's literally like you have the hot dog, but then on top of that, you have chicken parmesan and marinara sauce.
That's fine, I guess. It's a bit much. See, like, I'm not a big fan of LA's whole like wacky, crazy food culture
I'm
that they
not.
got
I'm
going
not
on.
a huge. I'm
Like,
not a huge fan either.
people talk up umami burger. I'm not a fan because you go there and it's like, I want like a nice good cheeseburger. And it's like, well, we'll give you like an okay cheeseburger, but it's like covered in like mushrooms and cheese and like, marinara sauce, like you said, and pineapple bits and like whole pickles and whatever. It's just like, just give me a fucking hamburger. Don't dress it up with nonsense. You're masking the flavors with shit.
I mean, okay, I agree with you to a certain extent. I do sort of get tired of weird stuff just for the sake of being weird, right? Like I don't want like a hot dog with chocolate sauce on it or something. You know what I mean? That's just
I don't like how food
just
trucks
too
put
weird.
like chocolate bacon together. Don't keep sweets out of my bacon, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. If it works, it works. Like Vicious Dog, honestly, I haven't had anything bad at Vicious
Like
Dog.
that's fine, but like the problem with those kinds of restaurants is they don't have like the lazy plain Jane hot dog for me.
Oh, they do.
It's not like Vicious
They
Dog's
do.
dog, which is good, but like
Yeah.
some places like my burger, I don't recall being able to get just like a normal fucking hamburger.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Or like at food trucks, it's like, hey, you want a normal hamburger? Why don't you go fuck yourself? It's like what I want. What? Like how am I supposed to see? You got to start. See, if I go to a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Just start with the basic to make sure they make good hamburgers, and if they pass that test, then you go crazy.
Uh-huh.
But no, they mask all their bad hamburgers with all this gloopy glop shit.
I mean, yeah, if people are leaning too much on the novelty of something, then that's a problem, right? That's definitely a problem. You got to start with the norms, and then you branch out from there. Right?
Also, like to me, this is a very personal thing.
Huh.
I find like things like hamburgers and pizza. It's the simple things I enjoy. I always like the combination of, for example, hamburger, just meat and cheese and onions on a bun with some sort of sauce.
Yeah.
It's like perfect. I don't need anything more than that. You start adding bacon to it and all sorts of stuff.
Like lettuce. What about lettuce?
Lettuce is good too.
Okay.
It depends though. Sometimes there's too much lettuce. I prefer like shredded lettuce. That's good. Anyways, but you start adding bacon and like truffles and all sorts of stuff onto it, and like those things are all good.
Truffles.
Yeah, whatever. Those things are all good, but they overpower everything. In the same way with pizza, it's like I like just like cheese and meats, like lots of cheese and cheese and sauce and bread all mixed together. It's like a perfect meal, and then you start adding like chicken and like bits of pineapple and olives or whatever, and then it's just like these things are all fine, but they're masking the beautiful simplicity of what pizza should be.
Well, I got a couple rules here, Alex.
To me.
I got a couple rules, and I think this sort of falls in line with what you're saying. I think with a hamburger, if it gets to the point where there's so many extra toppings that you can't just hold the hamburger and eat it without shit falling out the other side, then that's a failure of a hamburger. I feel like that you've put too much in there now that not only is it falling out the other side, but it's overpowering the actual hamburger patty.
I mean, you could just keep the toothpick in, I suppose.
Yeah, but fuck that.
Yeah, you might
That's
eat
like
it.
training wheels. That's
Yeah.
like riding a bike with training wheels. Now with pizza, I think it's the same thing. I think there should be a rule where you don't have more than 3 or 4 toppings on a pizza.
I think that's widely accepted. I mean, at least they'll charge you out your ass to put any more than that on it.
Because the problem is like if you have like a supreme ultimate crazy ass pizza, you're eating this pizza and things just falling off the ends of the pizza.
Also, for me, it's a textural thing where it's like pepperoni's good on pizza because it kind of fits in with it. Like it's
Sure.
like easy to bite through. But like when you get like crunchy things or like hard like big like nuggets of sausage and stuff, it's not a smooth bite of pizza.
Sausage on pizza, let me tell you, man, that's just the best.
People like it.
We're
I'm not a
talking
fan.
Mike Central. You know what my favorite pizza is?
Sausage pizza.
Sausage and olive.
But like Italian sausage, like clumps of sausage, or
Like the little balls.
the nuggets. Okay, like
Yeah.
Because like sliced Italian sausage is cool too.
Oh, that's even better.
I mean, like
That's
I once had
even
a
better,
pizza
yeah.
that was like little crumbles of sausage, which is all right. It wasn't great. I never know.
Or you know what else I like? This is I was going to was it Pizza Guy or Pizza Man or one of those make your own pizza places for a
Like
little
Pizza
while.
Rev or Blaze Pizza or whatever.
Yeah, I lived near one of those for a little while, and what I would get is like chicken, broccoli, mushroom, and olive.
Look at you crazy person.
Hey, it was pretty good, man.
Like I get people like that, and like more power to them. But I just like I feel like people give me strange looks when like I just like a nice simple cheese pizza, and they're like, "What are you fucking stupid?"
It's the same. I know exactly how you feel. It's the same thing I get whenever, let's say you go out to get Mexican food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not this way anymore, really. But my go-to thing was always bean and cheese. And
Yeah.
people would give me shit. People would always give me shit for getting a bean and cheese burrito. Because they'd be like, "What's wrong with you? Where's the meat? Why aren't you getting meat? What's wrong with
Bean
you?"
burritos are perfectly acceptable forms of burritos.
Well, the thing I like about bean and cheese burrito is it's just it's lighter. It's less food. And burritos are fucking gigantic,
I know.
right? So you get a bean and cheese burrito and it's sort of like, well, I don't feel like that food coma-y now.
Hey man, you ever been to Don Cuco's?
Yes.
Don Cuco's is the tits.
Recently went there. Yeah, it's a fun place.
It
Good
is.
place.
Good chips.
I don't know if it's my favorite.
What's your favorite Mexican place around here?
Oh man.
Sharky's. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Don't go to Sharky's.
There's this place that's sort of like right on the cusp of North Hollywood and Burbank. It's like right on I think it's even like on Victory or something. Or no, maybe Burbank Boulevard.
Well, Victory doesn't go to North Hollywood really, so.
Right, yeah. No, well it does.
It does, but it's like it's north south, so it's.
I think I'm thinking of Burbank Boulevard.
Burbank goes through. No, yeah.
There's a place that's sort of like off by itself, right before you hit a bunch of neighborhoods. I don't remember the name of it though.
Glowing endorsement.
And then Ernie's was pretty good.
No, I've never been to Ernie's.
That was as featured in The Disaster Artist. That was a pretty good place.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, both those things.
That movie's kind of forgotten about. No one really talks about that anymore.
Well, it came and went, and I think honestly, it kind of put
Jimmy Franks.
Yeah, it sort of put what do you call it? It sort
Damper.
of took the wind out of its sails.
Yeah.
Was
Rained on its parade.
Yeah, was the James Franco scandal, and he hasn't really. He's just been gone. Where's he been?
Oh, he does this, that, and the other thing. Who
Does
knows?
he?
I have no idea. Yeah, who knows? What was the other scandal that happened the year before where that was Casey Affleck, right? He's been doing stuff, though.
Yeah, Casey Affleck. Which doesn't... I can picture that.
Well, it was like just like him being like a fratty douchebag, at least according to the stories.
Oh, yeah.
And not like Harvey Weinstein levels.
No.
Still not cool.
Very few people have reached Harvey Weinstein levels of
That we know about.
villainy.
That we know about.
That we know about, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Hot dogs, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. Man, we've talked about pizza. We've talked about hot dogs.
You know what place has really good
Talked
fish
about
and chips?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Go to Tam O'Shanter in fucking
What is it?
Glendale. Tam
What is
O'Shanter. Tam O'Shanter. It's an Irish pub. Ha ta 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 ta. And they had the fucking best fish and chips in the city. I tell you what.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
In the city of Glendale?
Sure.
Or like, are we talking in the county of L.A.?
Well, you see, I haven't had all the fish and chips in the county of LA, but I've had their fish and chips, and I would say probably the best in the city of Glendale,
Okay.
unless someone knows otherwise.
I really haven't spent much time in Glendale. I'll be honest. I mean, I've been to the hits.
Yeah, I've been to the hits.
Right.
Me neither, because every time I go there, I feel like everyone's trying to kill me with their cars.
Yeah,
And
it's
so-
supposedly the worst drivers are in Glendale.
I mean, like, you go by the Americana or the Galleria, and people are just, like, making outrageous turns and swinging right in front of you, and they don't give a fuck. And it's like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I was going to go shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. Recently, when I was looking to move, I was taking a look at Glendale, but I don't know. I'm sort of happy that maybe I don't live in Glendale.
No, I like Burbank
Yeah.
compared to Glendale. I don't know. It's just I'm further away from stuff, which is nice. Very quiet.
Yeah, it's a bit quieter. And Glendale sort of has like some cuts, huh?
Cuts?
Like some like scarier parts, huh?
Oh, Burbank does too. I guess.
Where?
In my neighborhood, apparently.
Really?
Well, that's what they say. I think. Well, you get a little closer to the airport.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get like scary, but it gets like everything looks like it's from a Halloween movie. Like yards are just like dirt and like all the trees are dead and like everything looks like a haunted house.
Well, and all the scary things happen toward, closer to the airport, right?
That's true.
Like historically, like Dumb and Dumber, right?
Oh, yeah.
Take that for example. There was a suitcase in that movie with the airport.
Man, I was in Pasadena the other day. Pasadena's so nice.
Pasadena is pretty nice.
Like, 'cause Pasadena, like,
it's like a little bit off the beaten path.
well, no, not really. I was just like, well, fun fact: Pasadena stood for Illinois in Halloween, the original.
Oh.
And like you just walk driving through those neighborhoods, it's like, man, this reminds me of home. Like it just looks like fucking suburban Illinois.
Well, yeah.
Except with some palm trees sometimes.
Yeah. Because it's east, right? And the more east you go down here, I think the more suburban it gets.
A bit. I mean, like if you're on the north side, I don't know about like East LA East. Like I don't know. I've only ever been
not
like
that,
down, like down the whatever that stretch of highway 210 is it?
210?
Well, whichever
Yeah,
Sierra Madre
yeah.
way that way to San Bernardino, it gets kind of more and more just regular,
Right, yeah.
kind of rich suburbs that whole way. When I moved out here, I lived with some folks who lived in Sierra Madre. Nicest house I ever fucking saw.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I peaked. Because they had like a pool and like a little like... It was not quite... like a gazebo would be underselling it. It was like an outdoor like room that had like its own dedicated grill and a little TV and like a stoop. And they had like a giant house with like basically 3 stories.
Wow.
And a big yard and a couple of dogs. And I was like, wow,
Each dog had its own floor.
basically. And I was like, well, never amounted to anything in my life.
Well, for one, we live in a very expensive area. And 2, hey, man, we're still just onward and upward, am I right? And so we're making those millions.
Yeah.
So sell those Filmtastic Voyage t-shirts.
1 million t-shirts.
I imagine if you're able to sell 1 million t-shirts, damn, you'd be making some money.
I bet. There are no like podcast t-shirts, are there? I guess like we'd have to make a funny in-joke that only our fans would get, and then we could sell a t-shirt of it. But that doesn't happen usually.
Coward Kid the t-shirt.
Well, that'd be kind of fun, like a label.
Yeah.
But that's not really a oft-repeated in-joke, is it?
Not anymore, yeah.
It never really was. We had said it like twice.
Yeah.
Maybe to you and me, it is, but like not on the air.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm fading.
I need to go get some tacos, get some fish and chips, stuff my face full of hot dogs. If you want to let us know where the best hot dogs in the city are, or your city, because you're not from LA, maybe, even though this has been like all local talk today. Apologies, maybe. You can find us at filmtestedvoyage.com, filmtestedvoyage@gmail.com, filmtestedvoyage facebook.com, filmtestedvoyage at youtube.com, and filmtestedvoyage at hotdogs.com. And you can also find us on Letterboxd. I'm Batman Crothers.
And I'm Mr. Karras.
Look up our usernames. You can see all of our fun reviews and or what movies we've been seeing or whatever.
That's right. Why don't you friend us on there and tell us a piece of your mind, huh? Maybe you want to give
A pizza your mind.
a pizza your mind, yeah.
That's the name of my new pizza place.
Maybe you want to give Pacific Rim Uprising more than the 1.5 stars I gave
A
it.
pizza your mind's right next to my taco place. Something to talk about.
Taco Bout?
Something to talk about. That's my couple of my themed restaurants with stupid pun names. Also, on the same block as Guantanamo Bay.
Oh my god. It's pretty good.
And then the Ice Creamatorium.
We'll make a shopping center with all those things
Yes,
in it.
this the
Yeah.
pun shopping center.
Yeah. Hey, we're a part of the Let Me Listen podcast network. It's a bigger network that has a bunch of podcasts, including ours. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud and on iTunes if you just search Let Me Listen podcast. Leave us some reviews. Leave us some ratings. I'm tired. Leave us some reviews. Leave us some ratings.
Cut the feed. Hang up.
Tell your friends about us. Yeah. We're here for you and your friends.
Mike can use some energy hot dogs.
That's right. Yeah, I'll boost
And this
my
hot dog pickup.
Let me boost my levels with some energy hot dogs. Hey everybody, good night.
Good night and
Hope
hot
you
dogs.
sleep well. Good night, hot dogs. Yeah.
Or hamburgers, whichever way you want.